Hello, my name is Rockline from Right Quick, a project where we collect stories related to how human rights intersect with people's daily life. So we have here my very own sister Hannah. Thank you so much for joining us. How are you doing?
Hi, I'm doing very well, and you?
I'm fine, thank you. I'm fine, thank you. Where are you now? Where do you come from and where do you live now?
So at the moment, I'm living in Leeds, which is in the United Kingdom, but I was born in Italy, in Palermo, and I'm originally from Ghana.
Okay, so you are from Ghana. What are your main activities? What do you do there where you live now?
So at the moment, I'm working as an anti-human trafficking outreach worker. That is, I get to support potential victim of human rights, and I support them in every wise, legally, socially, offering them financial supports, any kind of, support that these people may need in order to move on from their experiences. We as an organization try to provide it to them.
So it's an
Yeah.
organization that deals with human rights issues, right?
Yes, so we are there to advocate for the rights of human trafficking victim. As we all know, protecting the rights of human trafficking victim is part of the international law requirements. So that's what I do at the moment.
Okay, great. That's great. I would like to know what is the main issue facing in your community?
So you mean here in the UK as large or in my working place?
Let's say your working place. Let's start from there.
Okay, so my organization is a particular organization, and I just want to clarify that I'm not trying to represent my organization, but I'm just speaking of my experience. It
Okay.
is expedient that I do that
Mhm.
because I'm not sent today to represent my work.
Yeah, sure.
But one thing that our organization does is that it stands for Bame community, which is Black, Asian, minority ethnic communities, and also refugees. So we particularly deal with a minority in the society, and what we see enhance that generally in terms of violence and abuse, it is already an important human rights issue, but you
Mhm.
see it's even much more highlighted when it comes to being its face in Black community, Asian community, or minority ethnic community, whereby there are differences, highlighting by the cultural background or religious practices that such community has. So we may have, for instance, the fact that in an Indian community, it is normal to arrange a marriage for a child or a lady, or it is part of the religious practice to conduct female mutilation. So it becomes a challenge when these people find themselves in a community, so-called democracy, and then certain things are not allowed by law, and you need to stand in and defend the rights of such people. So it's quite interesting, but I think it's interesting, rewarding, but it also presents challenges, because at times it's hard to make such people to understand that their rights is also being
Yeah,
violated. So you're trying to advocate
yeah.
for people who do not see that there is, a problem at stake. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you're right. But do you see any progress in human rights in your country where you live in UK? Do you see any progress in the protection of human rights? And do you have some example of cases whereby human rights issues are violated in the UK?
Well, I'll try to shift um, a bit the scenario from my working place to the everyday life of,
Yeah.
you know, a Black person reality in the UK. So there is this thing that is being done, is being contacted more and more and more, that from different companies, and not just in the UK, but in generally, it's a practice that I've seen that it is common in Europe, that is to ask, the kind of background or the kind of ethnic background that a person is. So they will categorize you. Are you Black, African, or are you Asian, or what are you? And this kind of information, there seems to be to, further equal rights opportunity, whereby like an organization can choose to use that information to hire you, but another can choose it to not hire you. And I have different stories from friends who, because they selected that they were Black African in a job, in a job offer or in a job interview or whatever, they were refused. So these are things that I believe enters in the sphere of, equal opportunity, whereby we are trying to find means, but these means that we are finding are actually being binding for people and limiting people to access opportunities. Yeah.
So, you will say you agree that opportunities are limited for some certain criteria people. Like when there is an opportunity, it's kind of limited for some. Okay. Okay. So have you ever felt deprived of your rights? And if so, when?
So I'm a strong person. So honestly, I'm not, I think, deprivation of rights is much more of a legal thing, but it's also psychological. I believe that to the extent to which you allow yourself to be deprived of the rights that that you are entitled to, it first starts with your mind. So if you are quiet, you see something wrong and you don't speak up, but you play the victim, you end up being deprived of your rights. But if you don't keep quiet and you know your rights and you stand firm and you speak against unjust situation, then you people who may have even an antique mentality will get to even agree with you, understanding that their position is wrong. So for who I am, honestly, like I'm not saying that I've never received like racist comments, like hindrances from different system because of the color of your skin, but you just need to be strong and just stand on your ground and just try to ensure that what is your right, you get it. Your voice is, I believe, the first instrument of ensuring that you're not deprived of rights. So that's you don't just expect that people grant you things. You need to defend your position, what has been already granted you.
Yeah, I like your answer. Yeah, you have such an interesting answer. Thank you so much. And also, I'd like to know what is the biggest challenge you're facing now?
The biggest challenge, you mean in terms of human rights?
Yeah, anything, whether human rights, your daily life issues, like you having the biggest challenge you would like to share?
Well, like in my working place, I'm facing this challenge that at times we try to, which deals with the system. Okay, let me maybe perhaps go more in the details so that it will become clear what I want to express. So basically, my working place, we have this system, which is a national system that that try to provide, basic needs for potential victim of human trafficking, so that they will not be vulnerable. But this system doesn't put really in place an empowerment system whereby when our service end, these people will be empowered. Like it's like now they receive financial support from the states. They have a place to stay. They have somebody to speak for them. But all of a sudden, after 2-3 months, this end and they are on their own, and then they fall back to the circle of vulnerability, especially for people who have been trafficked for sex, like for sex trafficking. They'll feel, okay, let me go back to prostitution because I get money and I get to survive. So there is this thing that I find it as a challenge personally, because I don't see that we are truly helping people. Like I'm being paid for what I'm doing. I have a moment like momentaneous, gratification because I see myself defending. But on a long-term scale, what is truly been done for the life of these people? Like, we have few cases of people, and that's very rewarding, of people who like have emancipated in a great way. They have find, they are now working. There is no way they can fall back. But most of our cases, their situation of vulnerability is not really sought out. So as I think about it as a human being, because you get deal with people you get close to these people, get to know them. They may even consider you as your friend. And you go to sleep, you are sleeping on your nice bed and you're wondering, oh my God, what's going to be of this person, So that's a personal challenge for me at the moment, like thinking about, and that's maybe the reason why I began the organization Uncovering the Covered, because I'm trying still to figure a system whereby we can truly offer total empowerment to these people so that they can truly be free to empower others. So
That's
yeah.
great. And lastly, the hardest thing you did or you had to overcome?
In general.
Yeah, in general.
So I'm truly honestly trying to think about a scenario of, of something that was hard for me. I think there are day-to-day challenges, in your working place, in your life. But one thing that helps, I am a person of faith, so I grasp myself on my faith, and based on the different, emotional challenges that I may have faced in the past, I have different, I can think about different things, but I'm still thinking about, the whole theme of human rights. One thing is, at a time, I just, encourage myself when I find myself in day-to-day challenges, and encourage myself in my faith, and then just push on through consistency and try to overcome every situation. So right now, honestly, that's what I would say concerning this question.
Okay,
Yeah.
I understand you. Thank you so much, Hannah. Thank you so much. Hannah is she lives in the UK now, and she's working with an organization that deals with human rights issues. And she's also the founder, I think, the founder of the Uncovering the Covered, right, on Instagram. So you can always find them on Instagram. And she are always, I'm sure, when people would like to join, they can always contact you on Instagram. Thank you so much for answering our invitation. It's been an honor to have this interview with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much too. Thank you so much for
All
having
right.
me with you. I really appreciate it.
Okay. You're welcome. Thank you. So have a nice day. Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.